All right, Motor City Miner here, coming at you with another update on my Flux Edition Octoserver. So as you can see, I got on my table finally, not on the floor. And we're gonna kind of take it apart a little more this time. You can see I already got the fans out, got the PSUs out. Hopefully we can get a better look at some things in here. So there are a couple things, again, I don't know a ton about how this machine operates or anything. So these are just things that on initial look are kind of caught my eye or are weird. So I can see that these 4 hard drive bays, which are 2 each, so 8 hard drives, all have these power boards, but this one does not. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on here or how I get, maybe these are just for spares. I'm not really sure yet. Also looking around, I do seem to have a slightly bent PSU. You can kind of see how it's hard to tell, but maybe from a front view it's a little easier. Let's see if we can get a good view in there. So you can see sort of that it's kind of slanted up to the right. I'm not really sure what's causing that right now. So this PSU cover is actually a little higher than this one right here on this side only. Hopefully that's not much of an issue. I am going to be taking this out, so I did take off the back panel. So this is how that back 3 fans come off. You can see that it pulls power here from the right side, so it does just go into this terminal here. And these are just thumb screws on this back one, so nice and easy. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna start unplugging, this riser board, and again, these are all PCIe X8 slots, which is required for proof of useful work. So we're gonna unplug this, see what's underneath, and be right back. Hopping back real quickly just before I take this out, because I noticed once I pulled these off that they are labeled. So it looks like each of these is a 200 watt supply, and so there's 4 of them. So that would be 800 watts being powered into this board, which, there's 10 slots, so that's 80 watts per, essentially per slot, which is what you would expect for the PCIe X8. So there is enough power here for all of them. Again, my A2000s will pull 70 each, so it gives you about that 10% rule there on each of them. So yeah, just thought that was something to show you guys, how much each of these is expected to pull. So, all right, so to get this guy out, after you unplug all the power and the power that goes to the rear fan, you're gonna have to undo 8 screws, so 4 on each side in this location. And then you're gonna have to pull up pretty hard on this because I haven't gotten this fully out yet, but I think it locks into the lower board somehow. So we're gonna try and do this one-handed for you guys. Pull this out. Let's see if we can get this out. There we go. All right, so that is the board. It is out, and yes, so interesting, very interesting. So you can see here that there are all these lower PCIe slots. Looks like maybe 4, what are they called? These are probably X16, and then these smaller like X8s that plug into the board below. So you can see those 4 corresponding X16 slots here, the 4 X8s. So there will be some resistance. Like, I definitely had to pull pretty hard. So it does look like this is in fact meant to be on an angle. So they've made this shroud be at this angle. It does look like the shroud it looks like it's 3D printed, so that's interesting. It doesn't look like it's like permanently affixed. It looks like it definitely just kind of clips in place. Kind of see the tabs here, it looks like. So let's see if I can get a close up for you guys. Yeah, so you can kind of see these are custom shrouds for your CPUs, it appears. So that's kind of cool to see. Got all our RAM, so it looks like we are fully loaded on RAM. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what type of RAM. We can find out here. Let's see what we got. We're looking at go. Some Samsung. Sorry, this is kind of hard to hold. Multiple hands, so 32 gigabytes, 4DR. All right, so that's a lot of RAM in this machine. Holy cow! If these are all 32 gigabit sticks, I don't even remember what I ordered anymore. I'm gonna guess they're all the same. You'd think they'd have to be the same, you know, just for stability. But yeah, let's do a quick check. Yep, 32 gigabytes. All right, so that's gonna be, what is that? 8 times 32. I don't even know what the number is. Big number. A lot of RAM. Again, they do recommend having considerably more than the RAM you have in your cards. All my cards are going to be 6 gigabytes, so there's going to be 60 gigs of RAM total on my VRAM. So that'll help below. Other than that, this looks like it's pretty good shape. There's a, we'll zoom in on our SSD 970 Evo Plus from Samsung, so that's nice. What size is this? 2 terabyte. All right, cool. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. Oh, I did, kind of funny. Where did I put it? Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to find it now. Oh, here it is. So when I was opening this, I did find one of the things that was rattling around. It is the head of one of those sheared off screws from this bent tab over here. So did not find the other yet though. It might be in the box or maybe still in this machine. Maybe I'll give it a little shake, see if we can find it. Other than that though, it's looking like it's in pretty good shape. So I'm over in the computer now. I did want to briefly, before I end this video, talk about just Octominer and the Octoserver in general. Um, just my experience and kind of what's going on. And, you know, I do think you should kind of factor this in a little bit. So you may or may not know that these Octo servers were very, very, very delayed. And pretty much there was no communication from about middle of August until maybe the beginning of October. And it took the community getting involved. Flux got involved as well to try and figure out what was going on over at Octominer. So I did just want to quickly talk about that and my experience. So I, again, have bought tons of Octominers over the years. And there was, you know, a time when I was wiring tens of thousands of dollars to upgrade all of my farm to Octominers and working with Chili on that. And, you know, didn't even think twice about it. And then I did buy just one of these Octoserver Flux Editions um, because I wanted to get in proof of useful work, but didn't want to like dive in, so to speak. This is more just, you know, see what it's about, see if this is a viable route down the line, especially because Flux has yet to actually release Flux of proof of useful work. So, but yeah, like I said, there was a time when I would willingly send them tens of thousands of dollars, and unfortunately, this time around, even just sending them, you know, 2 grand got a little iffy and a little worried at times. I was pretty sure they would come through eventually, but you know, I'd be lying if I said I was confident in their abilities right now, especially when you're hearing about things over at Bitmain also that's really struggling and lack of communication there and people getting let go and so on and so forth. I don't really know what's going on, and don't really have like an inside track, but some things are seeming to turn around. So let's go into this a little more detail. So these are the 2 servers you can buy from them if you are interested. But right now, and I don't know if this is like they actually sold out or they just, you know, are having, again, just manufacturing issues and not being able to make enough. But right now, there's only the high spec listed and apparently only one in stock of the regular server. And then if you're really hoping for the Flux Edition, well, bad news for you. It is completely sold out apparently or out of stock. Again, I have no idea if they're making more. I have no idea if they're what happened here. I mean, up until a couple weeks ago, these all said, you know, hundreds available. So I don't know if someone bought them all or you know, that was just how they had it. And, you know, now that they've shipped out the first batch, they realize they really don't have the capacity to be taking in that amount of orders. I really don't know. I don't really have any insight into that. But yeah, these are the 2 options that there were. But right now it looks like there's only one of the high spec
regular server. I also wanted to jump on here and see if I could find anything out about specifically what operating systems on here. So there's this one section here. It says remote server management. It offers free of charge server management applications via small processor, BMC built on the server. So I assume similar to like when you boot up a Octominer and you were to take out the hard drive, there is like a basic interface beyond just your standard BIOS. Um, but again, haven't gotten this up and started yet, so I'm not really sure what this looks like. So we'll get into that in a future video. I was hoping it would give me a little more. It does say learn more, but I click on learn more and it brings me to the top of the page. So unfortunately, that doesn't really help much. Um, And in case anyone else knew, Chili did technically leave Octominer back in the summer. Kind of coincided with when all the communication stopped. It really looked like Chili was the glue that was holding their front of house together, so to speak, their public facing side. Um, but he is back in a more limited capacity, helping them try to recover and get things back in shape. But he talks about that there's going to be a new person that was going to do what he used to do. They did apparently release a new product that you cannot buy yet on their website, but it's this Epic server. So with which I guess has AMD Epic CPUs in it rather than the Intel old school ones. But I assume this will be super expensive, um, like just absolutely crazy expensive. But again, not too much here yet, so just some information. If that is more what you're looking for, it looks like they do have some new products coming, and it does look like he talks in depth about they're trying to get a lot more staff on board and to service all these servers, and it gives me some hope that things are turning around there. Again, the bear market has been pretty hard on everyone, and I get that, but it was a little disconcerting to have so limited information from them for such a long time, because a lot of us had placed orders. So again, don't really know what's going on long term at Octominer. Do your own research, and you know don't ever, like anything in crypto, don't ever spend money that you're not willing to lose. So it is kind of a little bummer that I'm a little hesitant on Octominer now. I was hoping that if my server ends up working out well for me, that maybe I'd get more. I just don't know at this time what the future holds. So, um, but yeah, that's really all I got on my Octominer Flux Edition server for today. I did send in a few other questions to Chili privately, just so I can get you guys, appropriate information for some of the information. I had during my unboxing a few different questions related to a couple different things, some of which were earlier in this video. So, but other than that, that's pretty much where I'm at. I plan to bring this over to the farm next, and I have to do some rearranging at the farm to get this up and operating where I want it in the farm. So look for that in a future video. So, you know, like, subscribe, comment down below. Are you interested in getting into flux proof of useful work? Would you consider buying an Octominer, Octoserver, or have kind of the current situation of us batch one buyers, kind of turn you off to that? Love to hear from you guys. So that's all I got for today on my Octo server. We'll have something here very shortly from the farm. Until next time.